Hello and welcome to another UltraTech product training session. Today we're talking about the Ultra Inline spill deck. The Ultra Inline spill deck is a modular spill containment system designed for applications where drums are stored or placed in a single line versus multiple rows. So this, not this. By using one drum and two drum spill deck modules along with bladder attachments, we create systems for 3, 4, 5, and 6 55-gallon drums. Each system comes with bulkhead fittings and T-strips to connect the spill deck modules together. The bulkhead fittings serve a dual purpose. They secure the decks together and also allow any spills to travel from one deck to another. It's this shared containment capacity that allows the Ultra Inline spill decks to meet the EPA and SPCC regulations. There's a link in the description below to a video that explains those regulations in further detail. The T-strips are placed above each connection to bridge the gap and prevent any spills from getting in between the spill decks. Once everything has been put together and the drums loaded, any small spills or leaks will be captured in the bottom of the decks. In the event of a catastrophic spill, the bladder will automatically unfurl, providing an additional 66 gallons of containment. The weight capacity for the 3-drum model is 4,500 pounds, 4-drum is 6,000 pounds, 5-drum is 7,500 pounds, and the 6-drum is 9,000 pounds. You can see that these are all uniformly distributed loads, or UDL, so any weight placed on top of those decks need to be even, or those published capacities might not be met. As far as containment capacity goes, the 3-drum holds 99 gallons, the 4-drum 110 gallons, 5-drum 121 gallons, and the 6-drum holds 66 gallons. And as I mentioned earlier, all of these meet the EPA and SPCC regulations. While we're here, let me point out what is often thought of as an error in our specifications. When you look at the capacities, starting with the 3-drum at 99 gallons, it makes sense that as the systems get bigger, so does the capacity. So it goes from 99 to 110 to 121, but then it drops to 66. That doesn't seem right, does it? Well, actually it is right. The reason for the drop in capacity from the 5-drum to the 6-drum is because 66 gallons is enough capacity to meet the EPA regulations, and therefore the extra 66 gallons of containment that the bladder provides is not necessary. Let's take a look at what makes up each of these systems, and it should make more sense to you. Let me preface this with the fact that any bulkhead fittings and T-strips that are required for assembly are included. I'm not going to include those in the slides, but focus rather on the main components. The 3-drum is made up of a single 1-drum deck, a single 2-drum deck, and a single bladder. The 4-drum is made up of 2 2-drum decks and a single bladder. The 5-drum is made up of 2 2-drum decks, a single 1-drum deck, and a single bladder. And last but not least, the 6-drum is made up of 3 2-drum spill decks. The Ultra Inline spill decks are made with 100% polyethylene, so they have excellent chemical resistance and won't rust or corrode. The grating is removable for easy inspection and cleaning, and an optional loading ramp is available. It clips onto the side of the decks and makes loading and unloading much easier and convenient. You can also buy additional components. So, for example, if you had a 4-drum inline spill deck and something changed so that you had to store additional drums, you could simply purchase another deck, whether that be a 1-drum or 2-drum or any combination of those, and add them to the current system. This system is modular, so you can make it as long as you need. Applications for the inline spill deck are likely to be indoor, and that could be in manufacturing, warehousing, chemical processing, property management, auto service. Really, any industry where 55-gallon drums are used or stored is a great place to use Ultra spill decks. What else do you need to know? The first thing is that while the inline spill decks have a nice small footprint, the area in front of any bladders needs to be clear of any obstructions, or the bladder may not be able to completely unfurl. The bladder needs at least a 60 by 60 inch space in order to completely unfurl and maintain its capacity. If the bladder unfurls, it needs to be replaced and should not be reused. And the decks are not forkliftable, so they cannot be moved with a forklift or a pallet jack. These pockets are sometimes confused for forklift slots, but they're actually supports for the grating. So why would you choose the Inline spill deck instead of one of our other spill containment products? Most likely it would be because of the minimal floor space it requires and the low 5 3/4 inch profile. Also, the fact that I just mentioned, it is modular and you could keep adding decks as more drums are brought in. Why wouldn't you choose them? Well, as previously mentioned, they are not forkliftable, so if portability is a priority, you'll probably want to consider a spill pallet instead. Some other products to consider if you're looking at the Inline spill decks and aren't quite sold on them yet. The Ultra Spill Pallet P3 Plus holds 3 drums inline, similarly to the spill decks, but also has forklift pockets for better portability. There's standard spill decks, should you decide that an inline configuration is not a requirement. And there's heavy-duty spill decks with a significantly higher weight capacity if that's a concern. Thank you for your time. Look for more product training videos on our YouTube channel.